Welcome back to Up and Adam. Follow us on Twitter at Up and Adam Show. And be sure to like the Twin Cities News Talk Facebook page on Facebook. Also, today is Friday. Live video feed provided by Central Media Services. Go to centralmediaservices.com/upandadam to see how darn cute I am. In studio still, hanging out, Dr. John Spry. And from the city pages, Ben Johnson. What you got, Ben Johnson?
Here's another story I have running this morning. We have the story of the sexting lunch lady in Inver Grove.
The what now?
Huh?
Halfway through last year,
That is not part of her job responsibilities.
Krista Muccio struck up a friendship with an 8th grader at Inver Grove Middle School. They started exchanging Instagram messages. First, she sent him a picture of a girl in a bikini, and then that was followed up by 3 other pictures police found on her website. There was a close-up of female genitalia, a female naked from the waist up, no face, and a female backside wearing a thong.
See, I don't want to see brown orthopedic shoes in the backside of a thong of the lunch lady.
Krista Muccio, she's 41, and I tried to search for a picture, but right when these charges
that picture that you have associated with the blog post is not accurate.
That's Chris Farley from the famous Lunch Lady Land.
I'm unaware of that.
And I love the caption under the picture. It says, Muccio 41, as if it's her.
Yeah. Here comes the lawsuit.
There's lots of black hairs coming out of my nose.
Yes.
Not just your nose.
Hoagies and grinders.
Hoagies and grinders, navy beans, navy beans.
Navy beans. Hoagies and grinders. Hoagies and grinders. Navy beans. Navy beans. Meatloaf sandwich.
Unreal. So this lady, okay, you can take that down a little bit. Sam, thank you for accomplishing something Dylan couldn't. A quick turnaround on an audio request. Gal's 41. We don't know what she looks like?
No, she scrubbed her Facebook, scrubbed her Instagram.
She can't hide forever.
And no
all that got
mugshot.
scrubbed.
She was charged by summons. So we don't know what she looks like. She's 41. She asked for pictures in return, though, from this 15-year-old boy.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Okay.
And he obliged.
That's where that's where things get.
Yeah.
They go from just
criminal.
a series of bad decisions to you're going to go to jail.
Yeah. So on November 29th last year, this 15-year-old's father is going through the 15-year-old's iPad, and he goes into the recently deleted folder.
Smart dad. Smart dad.
Yeah. And he finds these 3 photos, and he confronts the boy and says, "Hey, what are these lunch lady
What's going on
duties?"
here?
So then the cops get involved, and she's been charged with communication with a minor describing sexual conduct and possession of pornographic work involving minors. Altogether, it's between 0 and 8 years. We'll see where this case goes. But this isn't even the first time this school has been rocked by a sexting scandal. I don't know what's going on at Simley High School. The lunch room is shared by Inver Grove Middle School and Simley High School.
Okay.
In 2012, also a friend of the show Aaron Rupard.
Never heard of him.
On a 26-year-old student teacher who is sexting a 17-year-old Simley High School student. Also, the teacher was female in this case, and the student was male. So I don't know what's going on in Dakota County, but a couple of sexting.
It's a cougar infestation.
They get the DNR on this.
Yeah.
Hit him with a trank dart. Take those cougars down.
Yeah, so I mean, it's insane the news that breaks out there. Lunch lady sexting scandal.
Who'd have thought?
I actually did a search.
I remember my lunch ladies.
They were like nice,
Now-
you know,
And
like,
old.
They were all
They're like 41. Which when you're 15 is really old.
It's like, oh my God, you're so
It's
old.
really old, and I'm not 15.
Zip it.
Almost, but not quite.
That hurts. That hurts a little.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This has happened once before. I did a search just out of curiosity. It was like, has there ever been? Is this like world's first? Well, is this world's first lunch waiting sexting scandal? You know, and it turns out this happened in Colorado last year.
Huh. Well, you know, to get an extra dessert, I don't know what I would have done given the opportunity.
You know, it's taco day. You want that extra taco.
It is taco every day.
Yeah, so
depending.
I mean, I don't know what's going on in Dakota County, but yeah, things are not looking good for Miss Muccio.
I don't want to offend any of our younger listeners, but there is nothing appealing about a 15-year-old boy. Not physically, intellectually. They've got terrible personalities. They're in this weird, not a boy, not a man, so they're just an awkward mix-up of both.
An awkward lump.
Yeah, and with lumps. Uncontrollable lumps. They're soft, but they're not like, adorable. They're gross. They smell bad.
And this is your future in 14 years, Jack. You get to be the parent of a 15-year-old boy.
Are you going to be going through the recently deleted folder on a regular basis with your 15-year-old?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how they're going to get an iPad into the veal cage I'm going to keep them in and have been keeping them in. Keep them nice and tender. No, I don't get it. When we were in school, I mean, teachers were old. And they were not somebody you would want to.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Things have changed.
Things have changed. Social media has changed the game completely. I didn't know you could send private messages via Instagram.
Me neither.
Now I do.
Yeah, that's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, but human nature hasn't
using it a
changed.
lot more now.
I remember when I went to the Louvre, they had some ancient Greek pottery. Basic same thing. They didn't have texting, but the lunch lady made, you should have seen what was on the pottery in ancient Greece. Same kind of thing.
Another thing, I am turning 37 in a week and a half. My grandmother passed away when she was 37. This was, early 70s. And I look back at the pictures of her. I, of course, never knew her. And she looks like a grandma. She was 37.
At 37.
At 37. And I always thought of her as an old lady at 37.
Right.
But now, maybe 37, 41, 50, keeping it together. And you want to share that with boys.
Ugh.
So weird.
Yeah, that is
Do
weird.
you know if is this woman married at all? Do we know that?
It was tough to find, really.
Rupar would have found it.
Oh, my God.
We'll ask Corey next week.
Yeah. Funny, on your last day, I think we're more prepared.
I have tapes, guys. I'm just gonna say.
I'll Instagram you a picture.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Nothing appealing about high school boys. Sorry, all the high school boys who are listening.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're gross.
It's, apologies to all your 15-year-old listeners out there, but
We're huge with the kids.
15-year-olds are awful.
Oh, I mean,
across the board.
we've been 15-year-old boys.
It's an awkward age.
It
It's
is.
a tough age for everybody. It's just boys. It's a it's a weird age. There's a reason your teenage years suck. The whole growing from childhood to adulthood, all your body's just jacked up and messing with you all the time.
I don't know. My teenage years has been pretty good.
That's because you're a girl.
Yeah. You are in almost every way imaginable the exception to the rule. Whatever the rule might be, you're probably the exception to it.
Yeah, high school would be a great time for a. You're a good-looking girl. High school can be it. You probably have peaked, Lump.
Probably. This is as good as it gets, so I might as well milk it while I can, right?
But for a dude, you've got all of the thoughts and desires that every other man has, times 1,000, and zero ability to do anything about it because you smell bad and you're lumpy.
Wow, piling on.
Unless this kid, because it happens.
What was your teenage years like, Jack?
Yeah, really. I think we're getting a little insight.
Yeah, let's put you on the Davenport during the break.
I'll send you some pictures.
We'll talk through it.
There was a kid, though, in high school. The kid with the mustache. Like the Tom Selleck mustache. Maybe this guy's one of those. early bloomer.
I definitely rocked a little bit of a wispy goatee.
Ugh.
The second I could, I was breaking out the goatee.
On Monday, we'll put up some pictures of us when we were 15 and see if any 41-year-old is interested. All right, what's next? Ben Johnson with the City Pages.
So there's this story out of St. Paul. There's a ton of crazy crime stories in St. Paul this week.
Wacky criminals.
Papa Dimitri's pizza
I buy my
place.
drugs there. I mean, what?
Have any of you guys ever been to Papa Dimitri's over in St. Paul?
This was the worst kept secret in St. Paul. I live in St. Paul. I get my hair cut, I believe, next to this place. There was this place that was like the pizza parlor, but like nobody went there to have pizza. Like everybody knew nobody ever shows up to eat pizza at that pizza parlor, and I was surprised the cops hadn't busted it earlier.
Why didn't you do your civic duty, John Spry, and call the police?
Or why don't you do your duty to this program?
Tell Ben Johnson.
And drop me a tip line here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Come on, John
I could have
Spry.
broken this thing wide open.
What other drug connections do you have, Dr. Spry?
Yeah, that sociologist was right. You're horrible.
Bad person.
So anyway, for those who don't know what we're talking about,
We were criticized last week for talking over the Dukes of Hazzard story.
Right.
With all of our little jokes. So I'll let you tell this story before I make jokes.
yeah, before we just open the floodgates of the jokes, Papa Dimitri's, crappy pizza place in St. Paul. And I went through the Yelp reviews, and they were awful. Everybody was just like, worst pizza I've ever had.
Best weed.
Yeah.
Great weed. Weed's good.
They were rarely open. Employees were always eating at the Nook next door and complaining about how the heat didn't work, which is weird in a place with massive pizza ovens.
Right.
Eventually, a concerned citizen notified police. Police put it under surveillance and figured out pretty quickly that it was a money laundering front for a pretty large marijuana selling operation.
I thought the concerned citizen was a rival drug dealer, but now I know it's John Spry.
Thanks, Jack.
Spry got ripped
You
off.
weren't supposed to say
on
that.
other deals.
Now, we talked about this it was in the news bag earlier this week a little bit, and everywhere I've lived, there's always these
Dime bag of news.
there's always these places in like strip malls or next to gas stations, these tiny little restaurants that never seem to have any business, yet they're always open. They never seem to go out of business.
Everybody's coming
Nobody's
out
ever
high.
in there, and so many of these have to be fronts for something, right? Economist John Spry, back me up on this.
Yeah, John, can a business survive without actually doing business?
Well, going back to the ancient Greeks, do you know that our friends in the European Union, particularly in Italy and Greece, have now tried to include illegal operations as part of their economy to make their official statistics look bigger? I'm not making that up. Like the Greek economy, the Italian economy are so mired in recession and high unemployment that to try to make the statistics look better, they're trying to include as much illegal activity.
We don't do much for textiles, but we move a lot of drugs in this country.
Well, apparently, like a lot of people do recreational things on vacation there in Greece and Italy, and they're now including them in their official national income accounts. But the U.S. has not done this yet. But if we did, all of the illegal sales at Papa Dimitri's would have been added to Minnesota's economic output.
I saw touristas. I know what happens on vacation. Andrew, I think you should go to every business you suspect. Just walk in and say, "What illegal activity can I purchase here?"
Hey, I'm here for the stuff.
Walk in, look,
my head nod.
look
Hey,
a little, right?
You know, I'm
Shifty.
here for the, what you got.
Mike said.
Yeah, everybody knows one of those stores, though, that, like, I always wonder about, like, the nail salons. Like, I grew up by a nail salon that was, like, basically vacant. But it's still around, and I wonder.
I know. I never. I mean, I'm not
City
obviously not
Pages
going to name.
investigation.
But I've seen there are a handful of places near where I live that I go to the gas station next to them or drive by them often on the way to get a six-pack or whatever. And I always they're always open. Never any cars parked in front of them. Just people milling around. Like, how do these places stay open?
Ever more than a handful? Or just
No,
just one?
just one.
Okay.
hand.
Yeah, so St. Paul put Papa Dimitri's under surveillance for 6 days, and they counted 5 customers.
Huh.
And then they went and subpoenaed the bank record. In months, they had $190,000 in cash deposits.
It's funny how the busting a front for drugs takes 5 days, but prostitution rings, massage parlors, months of undercover work. Months. Or before we go to the break, Ben Johnson.
Well, did you guys hear about the big protest at Uptown McDonald's?
We're heading over there to protest as soon as we get out of here.
Yesterday, for the 3rd time in 7 months, protesters stormed the McDonald's in Uptown demanding an increased wage to $15 per hour.
I just demand they get my order right.
So this comes right on the heels of McDonald's announcing that it's going to raise, at least at its corporate-owned stores, it's going to raise its minimum wage to $1 above whatever the local minimum wage
Which is not good enough, according to a handful of
it's a PR
protesters.
stunt.
I talked to a labor organizer yesterday, and he called it, because they announced it on April 1st. He called it, it's like an April Fool's joke, slap in the face.
They should take it away and say, yes, it was.
Right.
Now you happy?
Yeah, exactly. Just, okay, fine.
Did you just say?
I had a post idea that was shot down. I was going to do a post that was like, because the soccer stadium, whether or not that'll get public funding is kind of like the big local story. And I was going to put a headline that was like, Bill McGuire finally puts together soccer stadium proposal, wants the entire thing to be publicly funded, and then just the text be, say. That got shut down by so.
Did you do any April Fool's posts, by the way?
No, I thought about it. Unless you could really nail one, though.
Yeah.
Because so many media companies try one, and then it's just kind of crappy.
Now, if you were to do one, would your April Fool's post be the kind of post that you would hope people would think was real?
Oh, yeah.
Or was just so silly that it made people laugh because it was so obviously?
I think the best April Fool's pranks are the ones where they're like just absurd enough where the smart reader knows that it's an April Fool's joke.
Right. But you want somebody to fall for it.
Yeah.
Right. You want some people to fall
for it. Yeah. Those are the best ones.
That's why I do mine on June 17th. Nobody expects it. All right, when we return, we've got 2 VIP tickets to give away to the Ron Paul event at the University of Minnesota on Monday, presented by CFACT. You can get tickets at cfactcampus.org, but we're giving away 2 VIP tickets. We're going to play a little Are You Smarter Than Lump?
Call in now, 651-989-5855. Get in line to play Are You Smarter Than Lump and win those tickets to see Ron Paul.
Up and Adam. Of all the morning shows that are on, this is one of them.
On Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130.